Hi, my name is Nuratira binti Sajali. So here I will explain about our group assignments which is given by our lecturer for this subject, anatomy and physiology. So our topic that I will talk through this Google site is cells and tissues. So as you can see here is the shortcuts for these options. And many options that we can look through this topic, which is introduction, objective, cells, tissue, injury, quiz, disease, conclusion, homework, and teachers. So let's take a look to the teachers first. The teachers is who was prepared the Google sites together. Here is me, Nuratira binti Sajali. My friend Fazwan Shafiq bin Matlazim and Nurmaisara binti Bahtiar. Before you start, you may fill the attendance first. The attendance that we did for you is from Google Form. You must fill your email, full name, class, and IC number, then submit. Then we go to the introduction first. The introduction talk about the Google site. And so the Google site is a programming environment that lowers the barriers to create mobile apps for Android and iOS devices, especially for students with a little or no programming experience. So let's take a look to the introduction of cells. Here we can take a look about introduction of cells. So this is the explanations, and here there are types of cells, which is plasma membrane, nucleus, mitochondria, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, and lysosome. So we go to the introduction of tissues. So for tissues is same here. The explanations and the types of tissue is epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscle tissues, nervous tissues. We can go through to the types after this. So here is the video that you can take a look for more understanding parts. So next is the objective. Just click here. So the objective is explain the definition of cells and tissues, identify cells and tissue types, state the structure and function of each cell then that makes up, state an example of the cells that make up an organism, state the location of each type of tissue and on the human structure, normal and problematic cell and tissue condition as a result of injury. Here. So these objectives are given in this Google sites by us. So next is structure and function. For structure and function is about cell tissues. We may go to cell first about the structure. So what is cell? Video are here. You can look at the video and the explanation. And here human cells have three basic parts. First, cytoplasm, and click here to watch a YouTube for the video. And here is the paragraph. Second, membrane cell, the paragraph here, and click here to watch a YouTube. And lastly is nucleus, the picture given here. and the link to watch the YouTube is here. So these are the explanation about tissues. You may read one by one. So next is tissues. So here's about the tissues. So tissues classified based on appearance and function. So there are 4 types of tissues. The first is epithelial tissue, second connective tissue, muscle tissues, nerve tissues. You can click here to know about the epithelial tissue, the structure and function. Click by the words here, or you just click here at the shortcuts. So next is homework. As for homework, we did it by Google Form. You may click here. It will be shown as a Google Form as the several questions. So these are the questions that we give at you. There are just 7 questions that test your knowledge. So back to the topic is injury. If you open this part, you may see the cell injury here and the tissue injury here. Just click here or just use the shortcut here. So for cells injury, there are 2 types. First is reversible cell injury, which is degeneration, and irreversible cell injury, which is necrosis. For degeneration, there are 2: pathogenesis injury, and there is a video and explanation about the symptom and cause. And second is cellular swelling. Symptoms and cause are given. This is a paragraph. So for necrosis is necrosis injury. The paragraph here and the explanation here. So we move on to tissues injury. There are the videos here, and the tissues have 2 types of injuries too. The first one is hard tissue injury. The second one is soft tissue injury. So for the hard one, the first is dislocations. The second, fractures. So for soft, first sprains, strains, and tendinitis. So for disease, just click here to see the options and the information. So for cell, there are sickle cell disease, manifestation of disease, and the explanation about the symptoms, cause, and treatment. So the explanation, this is the explanation of sickle cell disease. So for the tissues is, there are rheumatoid arthritis. As for the symptoms, the cause, the treatment here. There are 4 biological treatment. Next is scleroderma. The symptoms are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the cause and the treatment. Next is systemic lupus erythematosus. And look at the picture and read the explanation. So here is the quiz. The quiz that we prepared is from quizzes. So just click here. Just click to the words here because they have a link that go through to the websites of quizzes. So the conclusion is, this Google sites has its own interesting way to attract users or students to get more interest in learning. It can make students to enjoy the cells and tissue disease and injuries. So we hope that you enjoy the learning tools that we use as a Google site. And thank you.